fake Ford versus fake Ferrari. Hey everyone, it's Sal here back at a little YouTube channel that I call SJM Industries, and don't have many viewers, but working on it and actually just doing it for fun, to be honest. If you watched any of my other videos, you may remember I like to play with some unique cars. Usually I get a hold of them when they're in really bad shape. I'm very frugal, I should say, so usually I buy them when no one else will, and then manage to put in some work and paint and body work and mechanical work and engine rebuilding and getting back on the road. So for today, what I want to talk about is the infamous rivalry between Ford and Ferrari. And I love Fords and I love Ferraris, but I'll, don't own one. But instead, what I'm going to do today is sort of my twist on it, which is fake Ford versus fake Ferrari. And just as a disclaimer, this is totally, for fun, not meant to be anything taken too seriously. And yes, I have a fake Ferrari, and in fact, I have a fake Ford. And we're going to do a little bit of side-by-side comparison of the two and see which one might surprise you, which one can get from 0 to 60 a little bit faster. So here they are, the fake Ford and the fake Ferrari. So let's start with the fake Ford. This is a 1992 Ford Festiva. I've had it for a number of years. I got the car for free. It was at my friend's shop with a blown head gasket. The customer didn't want anything to do with it. At that time it was white and it was a gasoline engine. But what may you find interesting is that now it's all electric, and I've rebranded it the Tesla in honor of course, Tesla. It's a cute little car. It's got a 50 horsepower electric motor and a battery pack from a Chrysler Pacifica hybrid. So I think it's 16 kilowatts, which is very, very small compared to most of your EVs on the road. But I get about 40 to 50 mile range per charge, which is more than enough for what I intend to do with it. There's a full video, actually a slideshow on my channel about this car, but really cleaned it up, put in all the digitals that you need for an EV. So let me show you what that looks like. So it's got a speedometer that actually runs off a GPS, a battery charge indicator, and then the Thunderstruck BMS system, which allows me to monitor the battery and the state of charge. I had a little fun in the back here. So the intention of this car was to be able to show others and to share how EVs work. So what you see here is a enclosure with plexiglass. I've got the battery pack. On the left is the charger. On the right is the 120 to 12 volt converter. And then there's the Thunderstruck BMS. And that's really all it comes down to. Of course, had to have the flux capacitor from a famous movie that you know. And even have some LED light that might not show up here, but under the right conditions, you can see LED lights that are flashing to showcase the battery pack. Under the hood, I've got the electric motor. Like I said, it's 120 volt AC motor. I scavenged it from a WeGo, which you can Google, is a failed EV company based in Atlanta that never quite made it to production. But they used a very high quality electric motor and the controller, which is all wired here. Now, just to go back a little bit, this was a gas car when I got it. The video that I have on my channel shows we removed the gas, engine, transmission, fuel tank, and then built some motor mounts and tied everything together. The wiring was probably the hardest part, because not only is it wiring, but it's also fairly high voltage, and it's computer controlled, so I had to learn a little bit about that. I got very lucky. The CV axles from an original Ford Festiva happened to match up almost perfectly. So that ties right into the transaxle that was included in the Wigo drivetrain. So now let's switch gears to the fake Ferrari. This is a 1988 Pontiac Fiero chassis, and there's a company out in California years ago that made replica bodies of the Ferrari GTO or GTB, and they were pretty well liked because their dimensions were accurate, and for the most part it you know, it's not perfect, but for the most part it's got the lines. And I definitely get a lot of attention with this car driving it around. It's very loud. It's got a nice little engine compartment, which I'm going to show you here. So when I got it, it had a blown V6 from Pontiac. I replaced that with a small block Chevy 350 that I bought used from a friend of mine that was doing an LS1 swap in his 1972 Corvette. And it didn't need it, but I did a rebuild, put a little bit of high compression heads and Edelbrock intake and carburetor. Very tight fit in here. It's serviceable, but we're talking about 1/2 inch clearance on both sides. Originally I had automatic transmission. I think it was a TH125, but I blew that up pretty quick. So then switched over to this 5-speed. It's an Isuzu made 5-speed manual transmission, which I like a lot better. Interior wise, nothing crazy. It's pretty much Fiero. Although I did, you know, it did come with a Ferrari horn cap, and I put the diamond stitch seats and the 5-speed. So, you know, it's a fake Ferrari. A lot of fun though, a lot of fun to drive. In terms of drivability, it's actually a fun car to drive. It's everything you would expect from a 1988 Pontiac Fiero with a V8 in it. And, you know, all the rattles and squeaks. But like I said, I have very little money invested in this. It was a fun project. It was mostly hours and hours of work. But it goes pretty quick. I mean, I think I'm probably got, I don't know, maybe 300 horsepower in a fairly light car. So later I'm going to do some 0 to 60 runs in this car, and then as well as the Festiva, and let's see how they compare. A lot of fun to drive. My son-in-law, and he's volunteered to help with some of the performance testing. So Nate, tell them what we're going to do.
So today we're going to do a 0 to 60 comparison between the Ford Festiva turned Festiva and the Fiero turned Ferrari.
Yep. Now we're driving around looking for a place where we can do this without getting arrested. So we'll let you know.
Yeah, the first spot we went, was it 6 cop cars in the parking lot? So
wasn't ideal.
No, not the most fertile testing ground. So we'll keep you updated.
All right, so slight adjustment to our strategy here. I remembered I programmed this to have a 55 mile an hour speed limit. So we're gonna do a comparison to 0 to 50, which is not conventional, but really this Festiva is designed for around the town. It's not designed for interstate. So we're gonna do 0 to 50 on this, and then we're gonna do 0 to 50 on the fake Ari. Ready, go.
$7.3.
All right, second run. Here we go.
$7.9.
Getting ready for run number 3, and here we go.
So just finished up with the first set of tests for the Ford, the Festiva, and we did 4 runs of 0 to 50. Went 5.8, 7.9, 7.5, and 7.3. Comes out to an average of 7.13.
We think the 5.8 was an outlier.
Yeah, the 5.8, all turning starts, so we were pulling out of a parking lot going onto a straight. I think it surprised me.
Yeah, I think the low sevens is pretty much the number we're going to work with. So now we're going to try the other car.
Yep.
Very important features of this Festiva are the flux capacitor, which is very important, and also the LED lights. If you go down close into it, because it's a little bright out, but there's strobe light LEDs, the battery pack. And I really do think I need to put some massive speakers here to really draw attention at the show. We're now in the Fiero Ferrari replica and just did a cold start, and we're going to go to the testing grounds and do 3, 4, maybe 5 runs and see. What do you think, Nate?
I got a feeling this one's probably my money's on this one.
All right, let's see what happens. I'm not going to do, and I didn't do it with the Festiva, and I'm not going to do it with this car. I'm not going to do a super hard start. I just envision so many things breaking, and I've had the transmission out of this car 3 times, and I don't want it to be a 4th. So both starts on both cars are what I would consider moderately aggressive, and I will do the same on this. Ready?
Yep. .5. .8.
Run number 3.
.7. 7 seconds. All right, we just wrapped up our tests, and I gotta say, I'm surprised. Sitting here in the Ferrari, it feels so much quicker and more powerful, but the results are a lot closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, very interesting.
Well, once we get back, we'll tally up all the results and we'll
show you what we found.
Yeah, we'll do the reveal.
So that was a lot of fun, and really not to be taken too seriously. You can see the Festiva did quite well, about 7.6 seconds, and that compares about 3 seconds less than the factory. On the Fiero side, we were a little slower than the factory of 6.1 seconds at just over 7 seconds, but I think that's because I was being really careful and trying not to get a ticket. Thanks for watching, really appreciate it. Please subscribe, and I'll be sending more updates on various projects. Take care.